think this thing's on. Let's see here. Okay. Morning, everybody. Dr. Freedom here with you at work. Yep, it is now Monday morning. The only cool thing is it's already close to 40 degrees out here. It's going to be 55 by this afternoon from what I've seen. It's going to be 70 by Thursday, and it's like, this is Ohio, man. It has nothing to do with any kind of a climate shift. It has nothing to do with global warming. It's Ohio for the last almost 20 years. Yeah, everybody seems to think because you aren't buried up to your ass in the snow, it's a bad thing. It's like every winter. And I remember that. There were winters we were feet deep in snow. Because I remember we had cats living outside, and I literally dug this trench. Hello, everybody, coming in. From the back of the house to the shed that we had out back, because we filled it. It was an old shed. It had been there, I don't know how, probably 100 years, because it was ancient. It looked like something out of Fallout. Okay, but we packed that old shed with like hay. I know the groundhogs love to live underneath, but and that's where the cats live. So I had to dig this trench, and they even had their own little hole they went up in to get inside, because of the fact this building was wearing down. It was still pretty, structurally sound, even when my dad finally said, screw it, and he tore it down. But I had to dig a trench so they could get back and forth to the food dish. I tried to keep a food dish in the shed with them, too. And also so I can get out there. Yep, it is Monday, and now we're saying it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, how many have seen the Morbius trailer that came out? And of course, if you've seen the Morbius trailer, you've seen Matt Smith there in it. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, I wonder how many hours of banging on, the back of Karen Gillan's house, sleeping on the back porch, please, Karen, I need a Marvel movie. Then maybe I can get enough residuals, or maybe I get something. So I can maybe finally afford a one-bedroom apartment here. Because Karen can afford to live wherever she wants. Hell, Karen can afford a solid gold bidet if she wants right now. And meanwhile, he walked out. You remember Mr. Cocky Pants? He thought he was gonna, jump out of Doctor Who and go right into multi-million-dollar projects like his buddy Andrew Garfield did. And look at what happened to poor Andrew Russell Garfield. He did 2 movies and that was it, I think. And it's like, but still, if he's making a piece off the sales, see, people don't realize that, if you're in mega hit movies, that if you're, you had a really good agent, you get a piece of the merchandising or a piece of the box office, you basically don't have to work for life from that point, depending on how that movie fares. Like, look at Jack Nicholson, for example. He didn't get paid for Batman. Instead, he went back in '89. Instead, he took a chunk of the merchandising, which turned out to be far more lucrative than if he had a paycheck from that movie, because he was making millions off that movie, years after it's been out. He's still making money off that movie to this day. Not to mention his other movies. This is Jack Nicholson after all. But if you or I had landed something like that, we wouldn't even have to go to work. We'd still be making enough per month probably to pay off a house and sit on our butts. But there's Matt Smith. Had to, finally left the pool shed and the pool house. Let me out, please. Karen, get me a job in a Marvel movie. I was gonna be in a Disney movie and they cut the role. I was robbed. Yeah, that's right. They did finally come out and admit that he was supposed to have a role in one of the Star Wars sequels. And it's like, dude, if I were you, look, I said, I don't know what your opinion of the Star Wars sequels are, but as far as I'm concerned, Matt dodged the bullet there, okay? Oh, man. I am not a big fan of the Star Wars sequels, and the reason why is, as I keep telling people, there's only one person you can blame for what you got in the Star Wars sequels, and that is George Lucas. because he was the one who signed the paperwork and sold his dream to Disney. And it was kind of sad too, because people think I'm crazy. I said, no, he just proved that with a big enough price tag, you can buy people's dreams now. Even that. But that's my own opinion. That's me. All right. Now, as far as Doctor Who news goes, like I said, there's not a whole lot going on. You know, Karen's doing shoots here and there. Billy Piper's name has popped up here and there, but has nothing to do with, you know, anything going on down in Cardiff. So don't freak out on that. Now, apparently, we're hearing out Bradley Walsh was involved in the Centenary filming, or somewhere along that line. So, because he was apparently at a dinner with afterward on the final day of shooting. It was him, you know, Dan, you know, we got John Bishop, you know, the guy who played, what's his name, you know, my brain's blanking, but yeah, him, Jodie Whittaker, and John Bishop. I want to say, well, I'm probably getting the name wrong. See, I'm half asleep because I worked Saturday. It's like, I basically, for the first time in a long time, I slept a full 8 hours on Sunday morning. It don't happen that often anymore. I'm usually average 5 to 6 hours if I'm lucky. But, so apparently, yeah, that happened, where they had a dinner after the final, you know, the last day of filming for Doctor Who. And so, also, someone claims they've seen Tosin Cole on that set, and they tried to keep it hidden, and there was a little slip up with something having to do with a chair. And they, you know, they saw who appeared to be Tosin Cole, and then they're loading a chair, and you can see the first 3 letters of his last, you know, his first name on the back of his chair as they were trying to cover it up and load it up real quick. So allegedly Tosin Cole's coming back for the Centenary. And it's like, okay. Now there's also people out there who are mixing the Centenary up with the 60th anniversary special. And it's like, okay, it's like you know, because I had a guy who got really snide on one of the groups. He's like, that special will not be airing till 2023. And I'm like, dude, the Centenary special is this fall. You're thinking of the 60th anniversary special, which will probably not air till November of next year. Yep. Yeah, they look like, to me, that's what happened. They were in such a hurry, yeah, as far as Star Wars goes, they were in such a hurry to get that stuff on the shelf and, you know, get it out there in the theater, that they, you know, here's the thing, a lot of people don't realize there was not one big written out storyline when George Lucas did the original movies. He literally pulled a lot of that out of his ass. Right down to Luke being, you know, Darth Vader's son. That came way after the first movie. Okay, that didn't come up till they were writing the sequel. So, but at the same time, at least he did a good job tying it all up. Like I said, God, you know, that second movie, I'm like, it was so great. It was crap. It was one long big chase to the last stand on a planet, on a base we think might still be there. And we're going to take these, you know, old things that ride along the sand out to face out, you know, walkers, you know, Imperial walkers, you know, that look like gorillas. That's what they look like. They, you know, they had the knuckle hands now instead of the big paws or whatever, the AT-ATs or whatever they're calling them. The Imperial walkers. And also it's like, they never really explain where the First Order came from. As a matter of fact, there's like, spoiler alert, there's already pictures out for Mandalorian season 3 showing Sith troopers. The guys with the they look like, you know, the stormtrooper armor, but they got the different helmet. You know, they got a different configuration, and they wear like a reddish color. Yeah, those guys have already are going to show up next season. So it's like, wow. So now the Mandalorian's going to have to retell the tale that you dropped the ball on. And the sad part is, they'll do a 50 times better job at it. But okay, that's Star Wars. That's a whole different field. But like I said, as far as getting news out of Cardiff right now, it's almost impossible. Anybody who tells you they're having a leak or what you call it right that is reading you some crap off of 4chan or Reddit. Because from what I've seen so far out there, nobody has a legitimate source inside of Bad Wolf Studios. Bad Wolf Studios is going to be like the Iron Curtain for us. It's going to be damn nigh impossible to get legitimate, good information from there. If you think, Chris Chibnall was bad about, letting stuff out, he's really good. Locking it down. Just wait till RTD and Julie Gardner get started. Because, they know the layout of the field now. Hell, the BBC was monitoring all their employees, Twitters and all that stuff. Even stars. And if you think I'm being a little paranoid, go back and look at what happened when they were filming, what was that? Journey to the Center of My Disappointment. Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. One of the actors took a picture of himself inside his own dressing room. He was in costume. And this is why I die laughing. They call this a spoiler. We know who the actor was, but we didn't know who the character was. There's no set behind him or anything like that to even take a guess on what the storyline is. It was just him in his costume. He's not, he's just as a human. He wasn't made up in prosthetics or anything along that line. Literally within 5 to 10 minutes after posting this selfie, they were banging on his, his dressing room door. That's how closely they were monitoring shit. Now you've got Bad Wolf in charge. So all the inside sources you once had at the BBC, including the guy who got to be on set and, got to go to the premiere of Series 11. You know who you are. Who was helping the BBC leak out clips. He's been left out in the cold too. And it's amazing, like I said, I don't think he's going to go the path that others have where, they thought they were once the big thing, in Doctor Who because they were doing, a little side project for the BBC and it got canceled. So suddenly they became anti-Jodie, anti-this and all that and threw a fit because, yes, that has happened. I'm not going to go into any names because I'm not going to do mudslinging on them. Yet they had the gall to show up to a con and actually people were getting their autograph for doing what? You hosted a sideshow. That would be like, me walking up to the guy who does Talking Dead and saying, I'm a big Walking Dead fan. Could you sign this for me? It's like, you're just hosting a talk show that talks about the other one. It's like, why would you demand money for autographs? To me, that's like, you're supposed to be a fan. And that's it. Because, and trust me, you should really appreciate the fact that you had that time. If you've had it. Because sooner or later, no matter how big you get on YouTube, no matter how much they love you on, Discord, Twitch, or anything like that, you're going to look up one day and realize, just like I did a long time ago, we're nothing but barnacles riding on the underside of a ship that will never be a passenger on. That's all we are. Like I said, and there's a lot of people who, even if I was, hanging off the side screaming help, wouldn't pull me up onto the deck because I don't belong there. And that's the way it is. Well, it's just about that time, gang, and I've probably depressed the living hell out of you. And once again, we ended up meandering off into Star Wars land, but it's like, because I don't like doing Doctor Who news and then saying Star Wars, throwing into that, but that's what happens. Sometimes you don't want to stay on topic, All right, so, yeah, Matt Smith, if you've seen the Morbius trailer that came out this past week, you'll have seen him in it. There's no way you can miss him. Is he finally off the dole? We hope he got a good deal for that movie, I'm just hoping the movie don't tank, maybe he is carrying this curse with him. It's not that he's a bad actor, it's just, trust me, it's like if I told you stuff that people I know who were on set during the filming when he was on board, trust me, you wouldn't be liking the guy much either. I'm not kidding. And these are people I know wouldn't lie to me. So it's like, they don't make stuff up about people. They told me the honest truth, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, I kind of don't like this guy. He's a good actor, but yeah, who knows? Maybe finally Karen will get a Roomba so that way he doesn't have to vacuum their carpets anymore. Okay, take care, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully see you in the future. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Think of those people over there in Ukraine today. And please, if you're religious, you might want to say some prayers and hope this doesn't blow up. I'm really hoping we can put this fire out before it lights off a powder keg. So take care of yourselves, and we'll hopefully see you in the future. Have a good one, folks.